So when we're bouncing, we want to think about keeping the heels on the floor. Simple enough, right? Stomach tight, focusing on those lower abs. Back is pulled back, so you got your shoulder blades pinched. You're sitting nice and tall. Because then we're going to take our legs out to the side. So stop bouncing for a second and just take them out to the side. Oh, yep, sorry. Oh, we'll use this as a time to figure out our space too. Yeah, we can add arms. I'm not always coordinated with the arms, but you know, whatever you want to do with the arms makes you happy. Yeah, so you're just getting used to rolling around on the ball a little bit. Oh, can you get it, Paula? I got it. No, I got it, honey. Just stand out and catch. You're welcome. Now take those feet to the front. Front, yeah, front. And as we do this, with the upper body, you're going to push and pull. So you're going to think of the arms reaching forward, but not all the way, just about 3/4 of the way, and squeeze your shoulder blades on the way back while sitting up tall and pulling your stomach in. Good. Now we're going to take these legs wide right here. You know jumping jacks? We're going to do some jumping jacks. Now, if that's not comfortable, you don't have to bounce. You can just do that one leg at a time again, okay? So if you don't like to bounce, you don't have to bounce. But let's admit it, we all like to bounce, don't we? Okay, as you're bouncing, though, pull that stomach in. Good. And then hold steady right here in the center for a second. We're going to take those arms and we're going to reach them up. Hold them together. Take them over. Take them to the other side. We're going back again. Pull that stomach in tightly. Back over. You're breathing, right? Bring it down. Push it out, tailbone underneath you. Take it up. Tailbone up behind you. Reach those arms to the ceiling. Deep breath. Exhale underneath you. Good. One more time up, and then we're going to cactus down. So push those elbows back, push them back, squeeze those shoulder blades all the way down and stand up. Take that ball, and we're going to lift it. Oh, don't worry, you won't be leaving your ball. Your ball will be with you at all times. So we squat, we reach. Try to feel those abdominals stretch to the ceiling. Your squat, you stay on the heels. At the top, your legs are going to stay a little bit bent. Now we're moving to the left side, so come down, reach over. Slow, push that ball back behind your head. Slow, ball goes behind the head. You want to feel that stretch right here, all the way down that right side, from the shoulder to the hip. And again here. Good, take that ball down in the center. Put it on the edge of your legs. So depending on your legs and your ball, it might be on the edge. You might be able to get all the way over the ball. Squeeze the ball hard. Then release. Squeeze the ball. Release. Squeeze. Release. This time, squeeze whole. As you're squeezing, I want you to dig the heels into the floor and feel that hamstring start to warm up. Good. Relax. Roll the ball out. We're going to straighten the legs and take a deep breath and gently press the chest towards the floor. Let the ball roll away just a little bit. Using that breath to go down a little deeper. Good. And then we're going to come up and we're going to take those legs extra wide. So extra wide. And we're going to do a little side to side lunge here. And yeah, we can roll the ball. You can leave it under your legs, whatever you want to do with it. Just get a little more warmed up on the inside. All right, we're going to turn towards that window. Leave the ball there. Point the right foot towards the window. Left foot's going to point that way too. We're going to drop the feet a little bit. So we're in that runner's lunge position. The ball's going to be right next to you, help support you. Not really, but it will. Taking that right arm up, reach nice and high, tip that tailbone underneath you. Get that deep stretch. Good. Straighten those legs. Bring them back to the center and give me that side to side again. Good. And then surprise, going to the other side. Hold it here. Turn the foot, turn the other foot. Get your body nice and tall. We want this hip to stretch. Drop a little bit. Tailbone goes underneath you. We're stretching that hip flexor on your right side. Arm can come up. Push those hips further forward. Good, and then we can stand straight up. Come back into the center. Do not go side to side, squat low. Walk the ball out. Good, keep your head up. Kathy, up. Kathy, up. Up here. You're here. Pull the ball towards you. Come on up before everybody kills you. Down, here we go. Yeah, just don't go so far, that's all. Good. So you have the weight on the heels. Now as we straighten those legs, press through the heels slowly. Press through the heels slowly, squeeze the legs together. You all went too fast. You were already up. Down again. All right, let me finish my sentences. Press through the heels slowly. See how I'm coming up slowly? Because you want to squeeze the inner thigh like the ball is still there. Press the heel, you want to squeeze your butt. We're still coming up. We're not at the top yet. We're still coming up. There. Now you can move a little bit more. Good. That's better. Yes, big difference, huh? All right, we're going to take your right foot forward. We're going to stretch the back calf. All right, so your left calf is going to get stretched. And we're going to do that almost in that same position, except this time, whoops. We're going to take that heel, we're going to press it down. All right, and we can hold on to the ball for a little bit of balance. We're just taking that heel and pressing it to the floor. Okay, now if you want to, you can stabilize with the other hand. If you even want to bend a little bit, you can. I'm going to stay upright though. So just press that heel down to the floor. Good. And yeah, you know the ball is really not going to help you stabilize, but it's nice to think so. All right, switch sides. So we take that giant step back and then we take that heel, press it to the floor. Ooh. Maybe adjust the foot back or forth depending on how tight you are. Yeah, it's amazing how we can be so different on each side, huh? Good. All right, bring it on in. Sit down on that ball. So we were talking about the most important thing on the ball is to be able to stretch over it. That's the biggest advantage of it. Can you see me over there? Wasn't sure. Okay. So we want to be able to walk forward on the ball and lay down. So when we lay down, we want to be able to get those arms back as far as possible. But you want to keep your head focused on the ceiling. If you're not comfortable with going over the ball, then just go into a bridge position. Okay? Right there, deep breath, get that deep stretch. This ball might be a little bit big for you. Keep your eyes on the ceiling. And then go ahead and roll up. Roll all the way back up until you're sitting on top of that ball again. Because you have to be able to, well, move back and forth on the ball. And that's your abdominal strength to get you back up. It's great to stretch, but if we can't get back up, we're in trouble, right? All right, so now let's go ahead and go to the bridge. So this time you only walk out about halfway. Your head is going to be fully supported. So make sure your head is fully supported on that ball. And we're going to press those hips up as high as possible. So now you can do whatever you want with the arms. If you want to put them towards the floor or on your hips, that's fine. But you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to press those hips to the ceiling. Squeeze your butt cheeks together, stretching out through the hips. Then relax it. And then do it again. Deep breath, exhale up. Press the hips up high, feel that stretch in the front of the legs, and then squeeze the tush to help release the front of the legs. Good, deep breath. Exhale. Drop your butt and walk a little further over the ball so we can stretch deep. The wider the feet, the more steady you will be. Your eyes stay focused on the ceiling. Do not look behind you. So as we get that deep stretch, we pull those lower abs in, then we push the belly button into the ball. Then we take those upper abdominals, exhale, and that'll bring our body into a crunch. So our crunch is only about parallel to the floor. It's not any higher than this. We've got to get that stretch. We've got to pull the lower abs in, then the belly button. Then tighten the upper abs to pull your body upward. So instead of coming up and squeezing your abs, we're actually using the abdominals to pull yourself up. That's why your range of motion is smaller. You're pressing your spine into the ball as you come up. So even if you can't get full control Over the abdominals, press your spine into the ball. Good. Give me one more like that. So just focus on that deep breath. Feel the lower abs, then pull those lower abs in, then the belly button, then tighten the uppers to pull your body up, and then relax. Bend your knees so that your butt comes down to the floor. You're going to be leaning back against the ball a little bit. Your hands can be here. We're going to walk those legs in because we're going to take one ankle on the opposite knee, and we're not dropping the butt, we're actually pushing it back into the ball. So take your hips and push them back into the ball and get that pigeon stretch, that glute stretch. Yeah, and you're still leaning against the ball, otherwise it's going to shoot away from you. All right, other side. Because we love to do pigeons in any way, shape, and form, right? Push the hips into the ball. Yeah. All right, now we're going to take those feet, we're going to put them down. We're going to do a leg press. So right here, our head is still supported. So if you're not feeling it supported, you need to come up a little bit. But we're just going to push back and down. Going to be super easy. Sorry. I know you hate easy things. What's that? You want to make it harder? Okay. So to make it a little harder, what we're going to do is one leg at a time. So put your hands here. And if it's not good for you, stay with the two legs. One leg comes out. We're going to push back through the heel and down. And I do keep my hands here because sometimes it gets a little wobbly. Good. So you're pushing that heel back, trying to get more of the butt to work than the top of the leg. Okay, so get one more. There we go. And then we'll stop for a second and switch legs. This leg can rest now. Okay, so push through the heel. Engage the butt and the hamstrings as you go back. I know it's still not going to be your most strenuous exercise, but you can live, yeah. It's a nice little warm-up. But you kind of find which side is not as strong and you'll know which to focus on. Yeah, you should feel it there, yeah. And fall over a little bit. I guess we could have used the block for this one, but that's about it. Good, so now we're gonna put that foot down, take those feet wider because it'll be better for us, and walk back. Nice. Okay, we are gonna find our weights. So get your weights, your medium or heavy, or you can start with the light. I'll leave it up to you. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to keep the dumbbells on our thighs. We always keep the dumbbells close to the body to keep your shoulders safe. We're going to walk it out. We're going to get back in that bridge position. So the feet are wide, the hips are up, arms are coming overhead. We're going to do a fly. That means your elbows are going to bend like you're going to touch the ball, and then come back up together. Now, if your butt gets too tired, you can put the hips down. But think of all the abdominals you're working, because as those arms come down, you're stabilizing. As those arms come up, you're exhaling and squeezing those abdominals to your spine. Every exhale, start to tap into the lower belly button and upper abs so that you can get all three areas every single time you exhale. As those arms come down, you want to feel your chest. You want to squeeze and bring the arms up using your chest. Now hold at the top for a moment. Where's your butt? Can we push that butt up a little higher? Get some weight through the heels, make our butt burn at the same time, and go for 3 more. Deep breath, exhale up. Deep breath, pull those abs in, exhale up, and one more time. Good. Right there, take the dumbbells, pull them in close to your side, and slowly walk backwards with those feet wide so that you can sit back on top of the ball. Oops, where'd it go? Okay, so we're gonna set that down for a moment. Just for a moment, you're gonna stand up. Simon says stand up. And we're gonna take the ball in your hands, we're gonna take those legs apart. So you're gonna have your right foot forward first. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring this down and just slowly rotate to one side. So we're going to kind of mix upper body and lower body. So this is our base move right here. A little bit of a turn. Too much of a turn and you will fall over. It's not about the turn, it's about control. Pull your stomach in. Okay, next step. If you want to progress, you can lift that back foot up, come down into a lunge, rotate a little bit, come back to the center, stand up. weight is on both legs. So we can lunge, come down, rotate, and then stand up. And we can do it all at the same time, make it look real pretty if we want. And up. So weight is on that front foot. Sorry about that. So you're pressing that front foot through the floor. Now, if you want to take it to another level, we can just stay in that lunge position and not put that back foot down when we come up. So you've got 3 choices here. You either go up and down with that back leg, or you stay in that lunge position, or you put the feet down. That's why you have choices. Good, one more time. Now the good news is we're not going immediately to the other leg. The better news is we're going to go back on the ball and give your legs a break. I'm going to grab those dumbbells again. And we're going to get out into our plank, because this time we're going to do a chest press. So we're going to walk out into the plank, into the bridge, keeping the legs wide, hips up. Hands are going to face forward and be outside your chest like a bench press or a push-up. We exhale going up. We inhale coming down. Every time we exhale, we're pulling the stomach in. So we're coming down slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. Slower gives you more of a chance to use your abdominals to stabilize you. Gives you that longer exhaling breath that helps bring the obliques in and more of the abdominals. So slow is good. Deep breath, exhale up. Get rid of all that air and get those abs super tight. As your arms come down, your back is on the ball, and then keep the back on the ball. If anything, you're almost pressing your back into the ball as the arms go up. Good, one more like that. And then we'll take those dumbbells, bring them in close to your side. And if you're not comfortable rolling back with them, this is where you would put them down. However, if you roll back with them, whoops, it's a little extra work. And I know you like extra work. So come on up. We have our other leg. So now you know we've got 3 different levels. You don't have to do all of them. But the first thing we're doing is just keeping those legs steady. Front knee is bent a little bit. And we're still turning to the side. We just got 2 legs on the floor and rotating. And just kind of finding how far we can rotate without getting wobbly. Now, if the ball is too awkward, you can put the dumbbell in your hand or just use nothing at all. Don't worry if the ball rolls away, we'll find it. All right, so now we're going to add a little bit up. So now we're going to come up. Wait a minute, where are we? We're going to go over, here, straighten the legs. So we lunge, we rotate, center, down. As we lunge, we press that front heel into the floor, and then we're down and steady. Did we go overhead, or am I imagining it? We did go overhead? Okay, that's what I thought. Wait, what did we do? Okay, well, do what you want. Do what you want, I can't remember. If you want to go overhead, go overhead. All right, so the next one, if you want to go to the next level, it's leaving the back heel up the whole time. And if you still want to go overhead, go ahead. It's just not clicking in my head today, I don't know why. Sometimes it just doesn't work right, you know what I mean? The head and the body don't always work together like they should. Good. So you're getting that lunge down and rotating. Good. One more time. Nice. To the center. We are going to take your mat and you are going to roll it up. Just a couple of notches to give yourself some padding for your knees. And we're going to put the dumbbells on the outside. Now, the good news with the ball is that the majority of our leg work will be on the floor, which is also the bad news because you know it's going to be hard. So from here, we're going to lay on the ball. So just with your abdominals on the ball. Dumbbells are at our side because we're going to do a row. So what that means is that we could come over the ball and kind of relax. We don't want to. We want to come up a little bit. You see how my back has a nice curve in it, just that nice curve as if we're trying to sit up. All right. Also, you can take your toes and put them on the floor. That'll help you from sliding. All right, dumbbells on the side. We have that chest up a little bit, so our back is already a little activated. We come up and down. Blow out as we go up. So we're trying to maintain that nice curve, which is what we call the flat back. And remember, we hold for 1, 2 at the top because we want to squeeze the shoulder blades, not the dumbbells, not the neck and traps, but the shoulder blades, the middle of the back. Guess what? As you blow out, you're exhaling and pulling that stomach in too. So right here, pull the belly button in, pull the belly button in tight and down. So those arms get to the top, that belly button is sucked into your spine. And you're gonna feel that lower back working too. One more time. Good, so we're gonna set that down and we're gonna come back a little bit and take the ball about an arm's length away. We're gonna do our preacher rolls. So that means we're gonna come forward into like a plank position and back. So depending on how hard you wanna make this, you can figure that out by your arm length. So keeping the arm and the ball close to you, coming to the elbows, not letting your shoulders sink. That would be your level 1. Want to make it more challenging? Push the ball farther away. That means you have to come further into a plank and work harder to come back out. So you can choose whatever level you want based on how far away that ball is. Now with your hands, we want to be in the karate chop position. Because as soon as you put the hands here, you're using the chest. You're tightening your chest and your shoulders, and that's not what we're trying to hit. We're hitting the abs, okay? So keep it karate chop. Don't grab the ball. It's not going to help you. And back. So as you come forward, you should feel a good stretch through the abs, and then you should have to pull them in tightly to pull your body back. And as you get stronger, you'll push that ball further away. Yep, and you'll head farther to come back. One more time. Use that breath. Inhale, pause, exhale. Good, we get to lay on that ball again for another set of row. Now this time, if you want to, use a cup grip so that all of the fingers are on the same side. That will help you feel your back a little bit more. So we lift up that chest a little bit, and then rowing up and down. So your body's gonna stay in the same position. That chest is up a little bit. If your back doesn't curve, you're not gonna be able to squeeze it. So that's why we don't wanna be all the way over the ball. We want that chest up. We wanna take those arms up, squeeze, hold, pull the belly button in. Focus on using the back. The arms kind of guide, but we don't want the arms taking over. That's why it's so important to get that squeeze at the top. Squeeze, hold as much as you can. If it gets too heavy, you can always alternate and do one arm and then the other arm, so you get a little break. So those are your options. And then 2 more. Good, and we'll set that down and we'll push it back and we'll get ready for another plank. So the hands are on top. Start with the ball close until you figure out where you want to be, but roll onto the elbows, making sure that the shoulders don't sink into the ball. So roll forward, pause for a moment, and roll back. So from the side, you probably know this already, but you're coming here. The body's not touching the ball. If the ball's farther away, there's just less of the body close to the ball. So it's just like a test, like a plank, except with the ball, so it's much more fun. So when you pull back, you want to keep those shoulders down. You do not want to be using your shoulders. They're going to help a little bit, but we're trying not to. Your body's going to try to make it easier for you. That's why your hands are going to try to go down. And we don't want that because that makes it easy, and we don't want easy. Okay, so on this last one, we're going to take it out and hold. You know, hold like a plank. Push those shoulder blades together and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. That's going to help your strength and your core, pull your stomach in. Good. Take a deep breath, exhale, and push it back. Nice. We're going to take the ball to the side. And we're just going to brace with one arm. And as we push that ball away, we're going to slowly sit back onto the heels. We can take this front arm and bring it down to the elbow. So we're going to just stretch that chest a little bit. And then we're going to take the hand. We're going to move it so that the thumb is on the ball. You might have to move the ball a little closer. The thumb only is on the ball, and the palm faces the back of the room. And as we take a deep breath and maybe push back a little more on those heels, we'll get a little more bicep stretch. And then we'll come up And we'll take it to the other side. So we get shoulders, chest, and bicep stretch. First is the chest stretch, hand on top. We can sit back onto the heels. You can even bring your elbow down and play around with the ball. You know, you might want it a little more forward or back or wherever you feel the most stretch. But we're leading with the chest, not with the face, okay? So don't be pushing your chin down, push your chest down. Use that deep breath and long exhale. And then we're gonna take that thumb, put it on top of the ball. Let that palm face the back of the room and continue our sitting back on the heels. Good, then we're gonna go ahead and come on up. Bring that ball in there. And we're gonna take a seat on top of the ball. I know, this is definitely not your class where you sit in one space for too long, huh? Up and down, up and down, up and down. Alrighty, so dumbbells. We have the shoulders back and down. We're gonna bring them here, rotate the hands. We're gonna do a nice slow shoulder press. Now right here, when we push overhead, stomach stays tight. As we come down, we squeeze the shoulder blades. Now, of course, your posture's tall and perfect. Your lower abs are always pulled in. But again, this is where our inhale, exhale helps with the abdominals. By blowing out and taking the good 4 seconds, we're gonna get more abdominals involved. So when you come down, squeeze the shoulder blades. Going up, pull in the abdominals. And keep it nice and slow and steady. You're almost trying to get those elbows down to the floor or as far as you can. Keeping them close to your side so you use your back here, so your back is nice and tight here, to help keep your shoulders in the right spot so they stay healthy. Yep, stomach comes in tight on the top. Good, and since we're doing 2 arms, we don't need to worry about counting, do we? So we're gonna do one, oh, don't get too crazy, one more. And as we bring it down, we're gonna walk halfway forward, just enough that we can hinge and bring our body forward. We're gonna take these hands and turn them towards the ball. From here, it's an upper back row. So coming to the armpits, that chest has to be a little bit lifted. You wanna think of the shoulder blades kind of folding on top of each other. So the further our body gets towards the floor to a point, the more of our back. If we start to raise our body, then we're pulling into the neck and the trapezius, which is what connects the neck to the back, and we don't really want big muscles there. We do want them strong, but we don't want to focus there. We want to focus on that upper back to support and strengthen our shoulders and neck. You got that long exhale and squeeze at the top. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, this is pretty easy so far. All right, we're gonna slowly straighten up. I'm gonna get this out of my face. So now I'm gonna give you a challenge. We're gonna go back to our shoulder press. And you're gonna take one leg and take the heel off the floor. Now, we're gonna go for a couple reps. Just the heel. This is part 1. Part 2, you can extend that foot and put the toe up. You already know where part 3 is going, right? You're gonna lift the foot up. Slowly. Upper body moves slowly. The more you squeeze those shoulder blades, the better your balance is gonna be. Pull that stomach into your spine. Move slowly. Go 2 more. Whoop. Now, I did not tell you which leg to pick up, so you are responsible for remembering which leg was just in the air. Because we're gonna do our back set, and then we're gonna go back and do the same thing with the other leg. Got it? Okay, remember your leg. Pull the shoulders back. Hinge at the hips, keeping that chest out. And if you want to change the thumbs, you can. And we're coming up. Hold 1, 2, down slowly. 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2. Hold 1, 2, down slowly. So we're staring past our feet. We can't really look straight up. But we are keeping our neck and spine in a nice straight line. Exhaling hard at the top. As you go up 2. And taking that 1, 2 at the top to really squeeze that upper back. You're gonna feel the whole back if you're lucky. And the more you do it the right way, the better you're gonna get at feeling your back do the work. Pull your stomach in as you raise those arms. And then give me one more after this one. Good, and then as we slowly come up, we'll reset the feet. Remember which foot we had. First we did normal, right? We started with 1 or 2, I think, and then I had you just lift the heel. Okay, so this is like a little unbalance without too much unbalance. Then we can take the foot out in front of us. Now I had my knee up. You can also just lift this foot barely off the floor, or you can have the foot up in front of you. Pull the stomach in, squeeze your shoulder blades. You come down as far as you can. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Keep the dumbbells in the nice straight line, down and up. Pull that stomach in. Yes, you have to use the other foot to stabilize. You do not look around. Find something to stare at and keep your eyes focused on it. Otherwise, you will fall on the ground. And I will say, I told you so. One more. Nice. And bring it down. It's harder than it looks, isn't it? All right, I gotta grab a sip real quick. All right, back to work. You thought we were done with the bridges. You thought wrong. Walk it out. Getting that beautiful bridge. See, we're a tabletop here. We're like on a flat bench. Our body has become a bench. We're so functional. So these arms are going to come up straight. We're going to do a tricep extension. So that means your arms are going to go back a little bit. They're still straight. They're just at an angle. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the elbows behind the head and up. So the elbows don't go behind the head. The hands go behind the head. And then we straighten up. So I'm going to do a few. And then I'm going to come and check you. Make sure y'all got it good. You can always do it on the floor if you're not comfortable doing it on the ball. So your elbows point to the ceiling. Yeah, the main thing is that we want to make sure those elbow to shoulder area does not move. Okay, so it bends back, almost to the head or behind the head, and eventually you can get behind the head to get a good stretch. You may have heard this called the skull crusher because a lot of times people take it to the forehead, which is one way, but you get a better stretch when it goes behind the head, which means you'll work your triceps a little more effectively. And we want the best in the least amount of time. That's why your hips are up in the air and you're squeezing your butt, correct? Pushing the heels into the floor. All right, just checking. Okay, so we're gonna take those arms, bring them down close to your side, roll it up. Once you get back up, that's the key there. There we go. Okay, but you know, I'll tell you what real quick. When you're rolling back, when you're here and you're coming back on the ball, you want to try not to use your hands. And the reason is because the ball is mushy, your shoulders can slip. You can actually injure your shoulder. So we don't want that. So it's not easy to use your hands, and you can hurt your shoulder, but just be very aware that if you are using your hands, that you've got to really pay attention to what you're doing so you don't hurt them. All right, arms are on the outside. We have a nice, easy hammer curl. So we come up, we squeeze, not the dumbbells, we squeeze the biceps. Your elbows are behind you. So it's almost the opposite of your tricep. But remember, up here, blow out. 1, 2. Come up, hold, blow out. Because you give yourself those 2 seconds not only to squeeze the bicep, but to pull your belly button and lower abs in. Because maybe you forgot when you were exhaling to suck your stomach in. Yeah, could happen. Yeah, I've been around the block a few times. Good, one more time. So this is a nice little teeny break from your little bridge that you like so much. I said one more time and I kept going, didn't I? Yeah, you don't call me on it. I'm not just gonna keep going all day. All right, so now we're gonna go back to one more tricep. All right, one more bridge. So you got last bridge of the day. Well, I mean, you can do more if you want to, but for us, last bridge of the day. Head is fully supported. Arms are up. They're going to go back a little bit. Those dumbbells are aiming behind the head. Hips are up. We're stretching the hips and we're pushing the heels kind of gently into the floor. You can push with all your might, but this is going to be a long set if you do. Now, some of you like to bring the dumbbells together, and that's okay if it's too heavy. But try to get them separate. When they're together, you tend to use some of your chest, and to be honest with you, when they're separate, you have to stabilize more, so it's harder. But if you chose a weight that's too heavy, then you might want to put them together and then next time choose something lighter. Because we need those shoulders to learn to stabilize too. So exhaling on the way up, pausing for a second at the top to squeeze those abdominals. And by the way, you all had excellent form, yay. Remember that exhale at the top, you pull those lower abs in, not just the belly button. Hips are up, squeeze that low back one more time. Good, now we're gonna bring those dumbbells close to your side, walk it back. And just be real conscious if you're using your arms, just be very, very aware that they could slip and mush. Use the hands, just be aware of it. It's okay. All right, now we have bicep curl. Elbows are back. Elbows pull back, your shoulder blades are pinched, and that all stays like that. Nothing changes. Only thing moving is the elbow and up. So the cat's out of the bag. You know what I'm gonna do if I say lift your heel. So guess what? We'll just cut to the chase. But wait a minute. Whatever leg you started with on the first time, don't use that one. Start with the other one. So sit up tall, pull that stomach in tightly. You pause at the top with those elbows behind you. The more you squeeze your shoulder blades, the better your balance is gonna be. Exhale on the way up. Find something to stare at and burn a hole in it. That's gonna help you balance. Exhaling up, squeezing those biceps. That's why we do the easy stuff with the balancing because, well, then you have half a chance of balancing, right? You can always put that heel right there on the floor and still be challenging yourself. Good. Relax that. Remember what leg was just out. Set that down for a second. We're going to go over the ball for another set of crunches. And then we got a bicep and then we're on the floor. All right? Don't cheer too loudly. So legs wide. Take it however far you are comfortable. Remember to feel those lower abdominals pull. Then it's 1, 2, 3. So as you stretch over, the lower abs pull. Then you push them in. Then you push the belly button. Then you squeeze the upper abdominals to finish pulling your body upward. The 4 on this is finishing that exhale. So think about it as 1, 2, 3, exhale 4. Down to stretch. Pull those lower abs in as 1. Push the belly button in 2. Use the upper abs to lift a little bit. 3, exhale 4. There'll be a quiz on that later. 1, 2, 3, 4. The slower you go and the more deliberate you are in using your abdominals, the harder this is gonna be. Which means it's more challenging and more effective because those abdominals are small muscles. Shouldn't be able to do a lot if you're isolating them. So go ahead and give me one more. And then we can always drop those hips to make it a little bit easier to walk back. The key is learning how to feel the abdominals, then learning how to use them to flex your spine. That's what that is for. Coming all the way up, we're not really using the abdominals. So grab those dumbbells, pull the shoulders back, pinch the shoulder blades to help your balance, all right? We know we have leg number 2 because we're doing regular bicep curl. And then we have leg number 2 anywhere from here to maybe just here or on the ground. But now you're a pro. I mean, I started you with the harder one. The shoulder press is definitely going to be harder with one leg in the air. Yeah. So elbows pull back, exhale, hold 1, 2 at the top. Exhale, 1, 2. Because that 1, 2 means exhale and pull the belly button and lower abs in. That's your 1, 2. Belly button, lower ab squeeze. Nice and slow. Alternate the arms if it gets too heavy, which means you can just do one arm, give the other a rest. Yes, that's going to challenge your balance too, but oh well. That's what you're here for. Good. One more time. And if Amy would learn to count, we wouldn't have to do so many. That's all I'm saying. So set those down. We're going to give those biceps another quick stretch. But your key to your balance is what everybody has issue with, is your back. Learning to activate your back, getting your back strong. While we're here, we're going to stretch our triceps. So take one hand behind the head. And your shoulder blades pulling back. That's more of your core than your abdominals are. So if you strengthen your back and learn how to really activate it, you're going to have much better balance because it's a large, large muscle. It's half your body. Think about that. Your back is, yeah. Whereas the front is just here. Your back is from here all the way down to your butt. So you get that strong and you get control of that, you're not going to have an issue with balance. Controlling this it'll help a little, but it's the back that you really want to get. So I promise you, you're on the floor now. So get on the floor, move the dumbbells out of the way because we are done with them. I know, what? No more dumbbells. I just don't want them near wherever your hips are going to be. So just put them wherever your head would be and you'll be fine. You don't have to put them all the way away. You just put them where your head is. Because there's nothing worse than doing a hip stretch on the ball and having your knee flop into the dumbbell. Not that you would flop, but I'm just saying. So we lay down, we get that ball all the way under your legs. Nice and comfy. We could stay here all day. First thing you're going to do is take the elbows, put them on the floor. Hands are facing the ceiling. We're going to take the shoulders, we're going to push those down to the floor. So see, as you take your shoulders, push them into the floor, and then gently push the elbows in, that whole back is going to be tightening. All right, so practice this a couple of times. Not only is it going to help your posture, help your balance, it'll help your shoulders feel better, it'll help your neck feel better. It's pretty much a cure-all, okay? But first thing we're going to do is just let those arms relax a little bit out to the side, and then let our legs go to one side. Let's see, your right side, like a windshield wiper. As the legs go to the right side, you'll reach a limit where your shoulder comes up. We just take that leg closest to the floor and set it down. So just set that right leg on the floor and let the ball stretch that lower back with your shoulders down. Ah, that's the best stretch. Come on back to the top. Put that leg on top, reset that ball if it moved away from you, and then go to the other side. So nice and slowly. If the ball starts to pull you, you take that left leg and put it on the floor. And then you're in control and just holding the stretch. And then we're going to bring it back up to the top. And we're going to roll that ball away until it's underneath your knees or your calves. The further away, the harder it will be. So pick which way you want it. You can always change it. Arms are by your side, shoulders are away from your ears and pull down to the floor, and we take the hips up for a bridge. Sometimes I call this and the other one that we did planks because that's what we used to call them. It's the same type of position. So if I say that, just know it's the same thing. So we have that hip in the, have the hips in the air, stomach is tight, toes are pointing to the ceiling. Just checking. Bring it down slowly. Press one vertebrae at a time into the floor. Make it feel like a mini massage. All the way down till those lower abs press in, and then take a deep breath, exhale, lift that tailbone up and move right back to the ceiling. So you press those hips to whatever spot is comfortable for you and hold. And then use your breath to feel the abdominals pull into the lower back. So you'll feel the abdominals and lower back squeezing towards each other. Nice. So we're going to slowly press that down again. And once we get down all the way, we're going to just roll the knees into the chest. Kind of like you're just going to stretch the knees to the chest. And then roll them back out. Now, if you don't feel like you're getting the knees to the chest because the ball gets in the way, the ball might be too close. If that's the case, just move it a little bit away from you and do it again, because we want to be able to kind of pull those knees in. All right, so now this next exercise, some of you guys know, and you can hop right into it, but if you've not done it before or if your hamstrings are weak, you're going to want to do it in stages. So I'm going to start with it in stages. First thing we're going to do is go up into that bridge. We're going to hold that bridge. While we hold that bridge, we're going to roll the ball, knees towards the chest, and then roll it back out. Then we're going to slowly put that bridge down. And then we're going to take a second and then put that bridge back up. Roll the ball in, keeping the knees together, and back out, and put it down again. We can do them consecutively, but if we get tired and the heels don't come all the way back to the back of the thighs or towards the back of the thighs, you're not going to really hit the hamstring. So you either pause in between each one like we're doing right now, or if you've done this before, you can maintain that bridge position And then just roll in and out, but make sure you are feeling those hamstrings, because you can roll in and out, but if you don't feel those hamstrings, it's time to stop. So we'll go for as many good ones as you can get while you can still squeeze those hamstrings, which is from behind the knee all the way up to the butt. Make sure those hips stay up. And let's get one more because we got a few other things to do. So go ahead and put that down. Hopefully you felt that between the knee and the hamstring. I mean the knee and the butt, right? Okay, just check. Roll that ball in, put it between your legs. And then put it in the air. All right, so our lower abdominals are just a pelvic tilt. So in this position, press your lower back to the floor and then release. Push the lower back to the floor, which will lift your hips to the ceiling. We hold for 2 seconds and release. If you want to work them a little harder, give your ball a gentle squeeze. But focus on exhaling that air and holding that. 1, 2. So we should be hitting from the belly button down. Long exhale brings in more of your abs. Gentle squeeze of the ball will help target them further. So you see it's a small movement. It's not back and forth, it's up and down. Legs kind of look like they're back and forth, but in reality it's the hips going up and down. Okay, because you are so talented, we're going to take that ball and put it on top of the shins. The trick here is to let your shins angle down a little bit so that your toes can hold the ball in place. And yes, there should be no hands involved. First ball to drop has to wash my car. Second ball will be helping them. All right, we're going to take a crunch in this position. So arms are at the side of the head, not pulling on the head, and we just push the spine into the floor to lift the body. Lower ab first, then belly button. Just like we do over the ball, we do on the floor. So it's small and slow. And as we're doing this, those lower abs are stabilizing that ball. So it should help you feel them better. Plus, it's a convenient way to keep the ball close by, right? So exhale hard as you push up. Pushing the spine into the floor, but really focusing on activating all those abdominal muscles. Deep breath, and you'll feel now you're not getting as much of a stretch at the bottom, so you can still take that deep breath and try to get a big stretch like you would over the ball. So one is certainly good practice for the other. Speaking of practice, let's take that ball, put it back under your legs. Oh, did I say under your leg? Ah, silly me. I meant under your calves. Because you know we're going to do another set of the leg. That was called a leg curl, what we did for the hamstrings. Okay? Yes, you loved it. So we're going to do it again. So remember, you can do it in stages. Lift the hips. Go ahead and start. Either roll in and out, and if you're not feeling the hamstrings, adjust the ball. Or if it's challenging, put that butt down and reset for each rep. Quality is what works here. If we don't have quality, we're not working the right muscles. So you can also think if your butt starts to drop, when those heels come back to your thighs, lift the hips up just a little bit. Don't make it 3 separate movements, but just be aware that those hips might try to drop. And always try to get a little extra inch out of those feet. Pull that ball just a little closer each time. And give me 2 more like that at least. Because I know these hamstrings aren't going to last long, are they? Good, bring it down. And there's a difference between being able to do that movement and feel the hamstrings. We could do it all day, but not necessarily target them. So we want to be real cautious of that. So we're going to take that ball. We're going to bring it back in the legs. We're going to do our pelvic tilt one more time. So take a deep breath. As you exhale, press the lower back into the floor. Hold. 1, 2, release. Deep breath, exhale, push. So you barely move. You're pressing the lower back into the floor, holding for 2 seconds at the top so you can really tighten the lower abs, and exhale all the air to get every single inch of your abdominals activated. But just don't let those legs take over. Don't let them fall forward. If anything, give them a little squeeze in the ball. If you start to feel your lower back, that means your abs are fatigued and you need to stop, okay? Now I'm going to be nice. Don't tell anybody. Put the ball on the floor. Put your legs on top. And let's focus on a nice traditional crunch where you can really think about that deep breath. Expand the ribs. And as you begin your exhale, pull the lower abs in, pull the belly button, and then squeeze those upper abs. So really focus on feeling those 3 sections and expanding your ribs on the floor before you begin. And of course, that long exhale. So the longer we exhale, the more of the abdominals and the obliques, which are those little finger-like muscles on underneath your bra line, we'll get those to activate too. And anything we can get a little tighter and stronger is going to look better. I mean, we can be healthy, but we want to look great too, right? It's all about control and feel. Okay, that was just a nice little break for your legs. That was me being nice. So we're going to take the ball and roll it a little bit away. And then we're going to pull the knees back as if we were going to do that leg curl, but not with the hips up. We're just going to roll those legs in a little bit, okay? So roll the legs into your butt, leave it there. Hands are down. We're going to take the heels. We're going to press them into the ball and lift the hips. So we're going to do a bridge again. Knees are together. We're coming up halfway down, all the way up. So from here, we're pushing those hips to the ceiling. The more you squeeze the knees together, the more you're going to work your hamstrings, inner thigh, and glutes. So as you press up and exhale, take 2 seconds to blow out all the air and squeeze those legs together. Feel those hamstrings working. Feel the glutes. Feel how it all gets in there together. And then give me 2 more. The last one. We'll slowly bring it down. So hopefully you can feel there too how you're still working your abdominals even though you're working on that lower half, right? So let's go ahead and pull that ball back towards you because unfortunately we have to stretch and start getting ready to wind it up. So we're going to take your right leg up and hold that stretch. So that leg is going to be as straight as you can get it. As you take a deep breath, see if that leg can move back just a little bit. Remember, the stretches are going to be comfortable. Don't force it. Okay, deep breath. One more stretch back if it can go. Okay, now we're going to take your left arm out to the side a little bit because this right leg is going to open up. As this right leg goes out to your side slowly, let the left leg on the ball drift away. So as the right leg gets that inner thigh stretch, let the left leg on the ball just kind of drift away so that you feel like you're doing a split or you're just letting yourself stabilize. Extend that leg, give it a little teeny swing. So see if it can move a little bit back and forth, just like we do in the regular stretch class. Just get some movement in there. Good, and then we'll bring that leg back in, set it on top, and find the other leg, which shouldn't be too hard, right? So we have the left leg up, holding that stretch, breathing comfortably, taking a deep breath, exhaling, and seeing if that leg goes back. So remember, the hands are like your strap. You're not pulling with the hands. You're just letting the leg go back, and the hand is holding it there to help. And then deep breath, exhale, see if that leg moves a little more, and then let your hands just hold it there. Anybody got shaky legs? Not yet? Oh, darn, I didn't work you hard enough. All right, bring that leg down very slowly. Let it go out to the side. That means your right arm's going out to the side. Let the ball kind of roll away so you don't roll over on your side. Don't kick your friends. And then little teeny leg swings. Just see if we can increase that motion a little bit. Alternately, you can also just extend that leg away from you to help stretch a little more. Am I the only one that feels like this leg is completely dysfunctional? It's like, what is it doing? All right, bend that leg, bring it back into the top. So from here, we're going to take your feet and we're going to turn them towards each other so that the soles of your shoes or feet are touching each other. Our knees are going out to the side. We're going to gently draw those legs back towards you, allowing the ball to roll towards your butt. So just a nice little stretch of those legs out to the side. So now we just kind of release the arms, but leave the legs there. Put your arms on the ground on either side. And then with a deep breath, we're going to lift up into that bridge position. Let those legs fall out to the side. Use the hands to stabilize. Now, if you want to, you can roll that ball back towards you for a deeper stretch. Deep breath, exhale. See if it rolls back any further and those legs drop out to the side. And then we can slowly bring it down and return those knees together. Certainly a fun way to get that inner thigh stretch. So speaking of which, we're going to have those calves on top of the ball, just like we did before. But we're going to take the right leg, put it on top of the left knee. So we got our pigeon on the ball here. So all we're going to do is take our left leg and roll it back. So right here, upper body's relaxed. Left leg is just rolling the ball back to get that glute stretch in the right. Nice and easy. Hold and breathe, and if it can go any further, go ahead. And then we'll relax it by straightening that leg and switch sides. This is, I think, the best one for the glutes because you can roll that ball back, and that way you don't have to grab your leg, so your upper body can stay relaxed, but you still get that really deep stretch. I know you love any pigeon that we do. I know. Good, and we'll bring that straight back out. And then we're going to take that ball and roll it real close to your butt like we did at the start. We're going to go back to our windshield wiper. So take a deep breath. Let that ball fall to the right side, keeping those shoulders down. And then when you reach that limit, if you do, take that right leg, put it on the floor. So we should have the body going one way and the upper body staying flat on the floor. Always separating the two. So back up to the top, reset that ball. Then take your deep breath, exhale, let it slowly drift to the side, and drop that leg when you need to. And you're still breathing, right? Just checking. All right, we're bringing that back up to the top. And then now comes a new challenge for you. All right, listen carefully. We're going to use our feet to move the ball to the right side and grab the ball with our hand, with our right hand. So let the ball roll to your right side and put your right hand on it. Then roll onto your right side. Go ahead and sit up on your right side and put the left hand on the ball. Yeah, we want to get up sideways. We don't want to pop the head. Okay? Sometimes it gets lost in translation, that's why. So we're using that to get up. And sit on the ball again. We're back to where we started. Yay! All right, we're going to pull those shoulders down. Now we have a perfect posture. We could just sit on the ball like this all day, right? No, that was a joke. Don't do that. That's next class. All right, sit up tall. Take a deep breath and rotate. So push those shoulders down as you reach your head to the ceiling. Get that nice spinal stretch. Deep breath all the way to the other side. Push those shoulders down, lift that head to the ceiling, feel that nice back stretch. Good. As we come back to the center, though, we are going to stand up. And just like we started, we're going to lift that ball and reach it to the sky. So feel those abdominals. Now you know how to feel them. Bring it down. Don't just reach it up. Lift that belly button and lower ab to the ceiling. Going to your left side. Slow and hold. Push those arms back behind the head. Feel that follow all the way down your side. Center other side. Reach away. Get that whole side to stretch and hold. And then bring it on down. And say, ta-da, I survived the ball. All done.